Hi, I'm Bibo, and today I'm going to teach you how to play Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a gemstone mining game from USAopoly. The Seven Dwarfs are brave, determined, and hardworking, and they love pie. In this game, you and your fellow dwarves are doing what you do best, mining for gemstones. Snow White is ready to reward you with special pie points if you can return from the mine safely with a collection of valuable gems. Beware though, your friends may interfere with your work, and every swing of your trusty pickaxe brings risks, uncovering more than you bargained for. How deep will you go? How far will you go? And how hard will you work to bring Snow White these beautiful gems? To set up the game, you'll want to put out the game board first, then add pie points and experience tokens, and of course, the mine bag full of gems. Then you'll shuffle all of the action cards and deal 5 to each player. Place the remaining ones on the left of the main game board, and then shuffle up the Snow White cards and place them to the right of the main game board. Each player should have in front of them a player board, a reference card, a player token, and 5 action cards. The game takes place over 5 days, also known as 5 rounds, and during these rounds, players will be taking one of 3 actions during their turn. They may mine a gem, play an action, or leave the mine. To start each day, Snow White is revealed and placed on the main game board. On this card is a combination of gems to be collected. The first dwarf to leave the mine with this gem combination earns bonus pie points. Each day of work ends when the last dwarf leaves the mine. Let's go over each of these one at a time. 1. Mine a gem. When choosing to mine a gem, simply reach into the bag and draw out 1 gem. Place it onto your mine cart. In the mine, there are valuable gems, but there's also obsidian. Obsidian is worthless, and while obtaining one is fine, if you find yourself with a second one, you'll be forced to leave the mine and an accident has occurred. If an accident does occur, then the dwarf who caused that accident to occur then discards all of their gems that they collected that turn and gains an experience token. 2. Play an action card. A player may choose to play an action card for their turn. After one is played, its effect is resolved, and then the card is placed face up beside the action card deck. This is known as the discard pile. Each action is spelled out very specifically on each card, and while most are regular action cards, some are reaction cards which can be played in response to another player playing an action card that impacts you. 3. Leave the mine. When you choose to leave the mine for your turn, flip over your mine cart, indicating that you're going back home to your cottage. All the gems on your cart are set aside until the end of the day when they're traded in for pie points. Place your dwarf token on the appropriate space of the main game board for when you leave the mine. Then you'll collect a bravery bonus, which is indicated on the space. But there's a small catch. Any player who is forced to leave the board due to an accident involving obsidian places their dwarf token dark side up on the main game board, and they do not collect a bravery bonus on any space. After leaving the mine, a dwarf is not allowed to return to the mine until the next day. Players take turns taking these actions, and remember, the day ends when the last dwarf has left the mine. After the last dwarf has left the mine, then players will be taking back their dwarf tokens from the board and then collecting the bravery bonus listed in the space in which their token was sitting. Any player who is forced to leave the mine doesn't receive this bonus. However, they do receive an experience token which will allow them to discard an obsidian from their cart in the future, even if it might have caused an accident. Any of these tokens remaining at the end of the 5th day are worth 3 pie points. So how do you trade in your gems for points, you ask? Well, each gem type has a value associated with it. Topaz are worth 1, amethysts are worth 2, emeralds are worth 3, sapphires are worth 4, rubies are worth 6, and diamonds are worth 8. With all of that said, there are combinations of gems that will allow you to profit even further. When trading 3 gems of the same type, you may double the value of another type of gem. When trading 4 gems of the same type, you may double the value of 2 other types of gems. When trading in a set of 5 different types of gems, you receive an additional 8 pie points. If you pull off trading in all 6 types, you'll even receive an additional 12 points. But don't get too excited. You may only use one of these multipliers at the end of each working day. Player at the end of the game with the most pie points wins the favor of Snow White, and they are the winner of the game. And that's how you play Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a gemstone mining game. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Be bold, play games, be you. Happy gaming!